guys, it's me, Clara. I am a college student, but it's summer break. So currently, I don't have very much going on, which is excellent because that means I have a lot of time to read. And this video is going to be kind of a weekly reading vlog. It might just be into like Friday. I just wanted to capture what I'm reading this week. So the first book that I'm picking up, and I am like a little more than halfway through already, is The Song Rising by Samantha Shannon. This is the third book in the Bone Season trilogy. Is that the name? I think so. Yeah, not trilogy. Bone Season series. Anyway, the Bone Season series is like a dystopian, futuristic, and basically people have developed these like magical powers, and there's a government system that is trying to get rid of these people or capture them, but we follow Paige, who has one of these magical powers, and she's a dream walker, which is really rare. And there's an underground world in London of criminals who have these powers, and anyway, she's a part of that system. But you just follow her, and as she goes through this world and ends up in some difficult situations. Anyway, but I'm rereading this because I've read these all up to the Maas following before, but she's edited or revised the original edition, so I wanted to reread the edited versions before I picked up the Dark Mirror, which I do have. I'm really liking this reread. I feel like the second time reading this series is a bit more boring than I remember, just because I know what happened, so the stakes are a bit lower, so it just feels less exciting than it did originally, which makes sense. And I also read this sophomore year of high school, so it's been like 4 years since I've read it. So sophomore year Clara's reading tastes are a bit different than now Clara's taste. Anyway, what else am I gonna read? Oh, I have library holds on where I've got them loaned, whatever, on Fearless by Lauren Roberts. That's one that I would like to read soon because I have it and I've heard mixed things about it, but I am still excited to read it because I've enjoyed the other books. Even though they haven't been my favorite books ever, I still enjoyed them. Wild and Wrangled, which I'm really excited to read the last one of the Blue Rebel Rant. Oh, I wanted to start my last Robin Hobb series in the Realm of the Elderling series, and that starts with Fool's Fate, I believe, or Fool's Assassin. What else? I'm basically just going through my May TBR in my brain. I feel like those are the most prominent ones just because of the library loans on most of them, or I think all of those that I mentioned. Oh, and then I also want to probably read the Dawn Chorus, which is the novella that comes after The Song Rising. I think that's it for starting this vlog. We'll see what and how much I read this week. I don't have too many plans, but Wednesday I have to drive my parents to the airport maybe, so that'll cut out some reading time. Catch up with you guys later. Hey guys, it is Monday, and I have just finished The Song Rising, so I thought I'd update you. I think the last, fourth of this book is my favorite of the book, or it's the most interesting to me, I should say, probably, but yes. And I remember how much I like the novella that comes after this, so I think I will be purchasing that on Kindle and reading it, because I want to. I'll either do that next, or I'll pick up, I don't know, maybe Fearless by Lauren Roberts, but I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, today has been a productive day for me. I worked out, I cleaned my room and bathroom, which whole thing, like sheets and everything, so that took a while. And then I went to Target and I purchased 2 books because they were doing a buy one get one 50% off sale, so I thought I'd pick something up. And let me show you what I bought. I bought The Rag Picker King, which if you've been watching my vlogs, you know I read a few weeks ago, but didn't have a physical copy. One in the US edition for sure. So yeah, I really liked this one. Felt very Cassandra Clare, which is good because it is, and I like Cassandra Clare's lots of writings and everything, so. And then I bought Powerless because I've been slowly collecting all of these because I read them on Kindle Unlimited, so just been gathering these as I go on, basically. So anyway, I think that's it to update on now. I'll show you whatever I end up reading next. But at least I have one book down. So I'll see you later. Hey guys, it's Tuesday, and as you saw, I started the Dawn course last night and I finished it because it was only like 100 pages-ish, so you know, quick read. It was great on the reread. I feel like sometimes when you go do flashbacks, it can be a little bit boring because it was going back to a time, it was going back to the first book, but in things you didn't see in the first book, but I just feel like those could have been included in the first book and then maybe referenced. I don't know. I feel like I would have rather have spent more time in the present timeline rather than doing flashbacks. So whenever a flashback happened, I was like, ah, dang. But once again, only 100 pages, so not that big of a deal. I rated that like 4 stars. Like, it probably is more like 3. Like, I don't know. I don't ever know what to do with novellas, so like, it's not a full story, but it's a vibe, so who knows. And then this morning, I started Fearless by Lauren Roberts, because wanted to get that read in, because I got it on the library and it's due like in a week, or maybe less than a week at this point, so wanted to get that read. I'm like 10% in currently, and I'm liking it so far. I feel like I'm appreciating the way they're going with this, because I didn't know with the end of the second book how this was going to go. Yeah, I don't mind how they're taking it. It makes sense. I was worried it wouldn't make sense, but this makes plenty of sense, so that's appreciated. This is, Fearless is part of the Powerless trilogy, and the first book, Powerless, is about our female main character, Payton, and our male main character, Kai. So basically this kingdom, there are ordinaries and elites. The ordinaries are outlawed. They have to be either killed or like kicked out. Payton is an ordinary pretending to be an elite. In the first book, she gets basically drafted to do this competition and has to figure out how to survive. So she doesn't have powers, but she fakes it. So anyway, and then Kai's the enforcer, and he's sent to kill / kick out anyone who is an ordinary in this world. As it's a YA fantasy romance, you can guess how that goes. So we're on the 3rd book and final book of this trilogy. I'll update you guys more when I hit halfway through of Fearless, I think. So I'll catch up with you then, and we'll get more of my thoughts out. Hey guys, it's still Tuesday. And I am now halfway through of Fearless, and I am enjoying it. I feel like I've been hearing everybody say this, but I like how we've returned kind of to the first book. Not fully, but like, if you read it, you know. It adds a bit more interesting elements than the second book did, but I did enjoy the second book. Because my main problem with Powerless was that it was so much like Red Queen to me that I was like, oh, I know exactly what's gonna happen. And I did. As we've gone on, it's become less like Red Queen, which makes sense and I appreciate, so I can no longer just immediately guess what's happening. Because like, I started reading Powerless and I was like, yeah, okay, so I know. I do understand what people are saying, like the slightly repetitive conversations that we're having, but I don't know. I'm like sitting here trying to guess what the end is, and I don't really know at this point, but like I have some ideas, but we'll see. I do like Lauren Roberts' quotes. I feel like she's had some good quotes, so I'll catch up with you guys later, either tonight or maybe tomorrow night, because I am driving my parents to the airport tomorrow, or I'll have to drive back. They'll drive there, but that takes up a decent chunk of my day, so I don't know how much I'll be reading of Fearless tomorrow. Well, in the car I might be, but we'll see. Anyway, but I'll be listening to audiobooks, and right now I'm in the middle of the Crown of Midnight audiobook, so I felt like we're reading through a glass, but I didn't want to physically read it because I have a lot of other books I want to physically read, so I started that audiobook because I knew I'd have time to listen to it, because I was listening to Throne of Glass last week. So this week's Crown of Midnight, and we'll see how far I get into it. Well, I'm like 20-something% of the way through, because when I was cleaning yesterday, I was listening to that audiobook. So, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, probably. Wait, I take it back. I think I do know how this book is gonna end. I am still like 57% of the way through, and I think I know. I think I know what the third act conflict's gonna be, and I think I know how it's gonna be resolved. Just gonna lay it out here, but no spoilers. But I think I know. Hey guys, it's Wednesday. I drove to and from the airport, which is a nice 6 hours. Well, I didn't drive to the airport. My parents drove to the airport. I switched. I drove back. But I was in the car for like 6 hours. But on the way there, I started Wild and Wrangled because last night I finished Fearless. And I really did enjoy Fearless. I think I agree with pretty much all the stuff that I've heard about it. Mainly, like, one of the, not main characters, but, like, very relevant characters. I didn't like how his story ended and what she did with him. It wasn't really satisfying considering all the rest of those stories. I don't know. There was another, like, more minor character that I also just didn't like how she ended his storyline as well. Wasn't happy with some of the characters' outcomes. I did like what she did with Peyton's storyline, though. I did think that was interesting, but I feel like that could have been played in a slightly different way for a more satisfying outcome. Not necessarily a good outcome, but, like, I don't know. I feel like it could have been played a little bit better, but overall I enjoyed it. I think I rated it like 4 stars or 3 stars. I had a good time reading it. But like I said, I started Wild and Wrangled today, and I'm like halfway through now, and I'm enjoying it so far. So basically this is a small town cowboy romance series, and this is the last one in the series. So we've been seeing these characters for a bit now. So I've been excited to know, like, how their storyline goes, so on and so forth. This one's is a second chance romance, and we're not entirely sure what happens, and we're getting some flashback scenes. And I don't hate these ones just because of how short they are. Because sometimes if there's a longer flashback scene, I just don't care. I just want to be in the normal plot line. So these shorter ones I appreciate. I wish we saw more of the kid a little bit. Like, I know we've already seen her in one of the past books, but I wish we got to see more of her interactions, which we might still be able to in this book, for sure. I feel like that's it for now. I'll update you at some point, probably when I finish Wild and Wrangled. So, I'll update you then. Hey guys, it is Thursday, and last night I finished Wild and Wrangled by Lyla, and I did really enjoy it. I think that was a nice way to end that series. I'd heard mixed things about this one, not necessarily bad things, but just kind of mid things, but I feel like most of the series I gave like 3-ish stars, maybe between that and 4 stars, so, you know, my expectations weren't super high, but I think it met my expectations. Like, it was solid. I enjoyed myself. That's all that really matters. So, and then today I have started reading The Wrath of the Triple Goddess, which is the next Percy Jackson book. It's like the newest one. It came out a few months ago, I believe, but I hadn't gotten to reading it yet. But it's like on Kindle less than 300 pages, and it's a quick read, and I thought, why not? But Percy Jackson, I feel like I don't really need to describe what it's about, but Percy Jackson is a demigod, half god, half mortal. He finds that out in the first book, and then you're just following his misadventures. So he's just trying to live a normal life, but he's not quite allowed to. This one, he's a high school senior, and he's trying to go to college. And he has to get recommendations from the gods, because he's Percy, and things can't go easy for him. So, that's what you're following in this. And yeah, I'm like 15% of the way through, but I'll like easily finish that today. So, I'll probably read like one more book in this vlog, and then I'll cut it off, or start another book. I don't actually know, because I don't know what to read after this, so I'm just trying to get through my library loans, because I've had that one for a while and I've been like pushing it back. I just send it to the next person every time I get it, so I was like, I should read it. So I'm trying to knock through my library loans, because the last 2 books have been, or 3 books if you count this one, so we'll see. Okay, I'll catch up with you guys later. Hey guys, it's Friday, and I finished earlier this morning The Wrath of the Triple Goddess by Riordan, and it was good. It was solid. It was a silly, goofy little Riordan book, so stakes were low. I gave it like 3 stars. I forget how funny his writing is. It was an entertaining little read. I don't know. It wasn't anything insane, and it didn't add a ton to the Percy Jackson universe as a whole, but like overall a good time. Not sure what I'm going to start next. I feel like I'm going to go off of my TBR, because I figure that there's a few romance books on my TBR, but none of them are like romance heavy, or if they are, they're not out yet. They're coming out later this month. So I'll show you whatever I start reading next. I'll probably end the vlog either today or tomorrow morning. I don't really know. We'll get there. So I'll see you guys then. Hey guys, it's later on Friday. That's today. I don't even know. Anyway, but I wanted to update you on what I was reading. And I started reading Whatever It Takes, which is the first book in the Bad Reputation duet, which is a spin-off of the Addicted Calloway Sisters series. So, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm 70% of the way through. I started this like past 1 o'clock, I think. It's like 10 o'clock, but this was so easy to read. So easy. I'm really enjoying it, because I love, her writing's just so easy to read. No, their writing is just so easy to read. And I just love these characters so much already, because they were in the other books, and getting to see what's happening with them is great. Excellent, actually. Having a great time. I was so uncertain whether I was going to end up reading their children's books, but I think I might, just because I'm really invested in these characters, and I do want to see what they do in the future, even like the kids, because you get to see the kids in a bunch in Some Kind of Perfect, and I want to know what happens with them. I haven't heard great things about those books, but I think I might read them. Anyway, basically, Whatever It Takes follows Willow and Garrison, and Willow is a family member of one of the siblings that you follow in the Addicted Calloway Sisters. I don't want to say exactly who, because that spoilers a little bit, but Garrison we've also seen, like I said, throughout some of the other books for other reasons, and you're just following them and their relationship throughout. You're getting a past and present timeline, so you're getting them when they were like 17 and then them when they're like 20, so you get a good view of how they met and where they're currently at. So I'll be reading this definitely for the rest of the night, and then I'll probably pick up the next one, because I wouldn't be surprised if I finished it and then just picked up the next one tonight. We'll see. So I think that's it for now. I'll update you guys tomorrow, and then probably finish off the vlog then. So I'll see you then. Hey guys, it's Saturday, and I just finished Wherever You Are, which is the second book in the Bad Reputation duet. So I finished the first one last night and just finished the second one. It's 1:45. I don't have problems. For sure not. I liked this one. I liked getting to see their perspective. Normally, I don't super love flashbacks, but I actually liked it in this one. I feel like it was actually adding something to the story. I feel like sometimes flashbacks don't add a ton, but I feel like this one, it really did. And I actually cared about what was happening, because like you saw some of that stuff in the Calloway Sisters. Oh gosh, the cat's yelling at me. But you don't get to see a ton that's happening with Willow and Garrison, because they're just not the main characters of that, so they're just doing their own thing off to the side. So I do think I'm gonna read the children's series. I fear I want to know what happens, but we'll see. Who knows? It's fine. Anyway, I think that's it for today's vlog. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys next week. See you then.